You must remember, to prevent discrimination, bigotry, and hatred all over the world, not only to Jews, but to non-Jews alike. The normal life in Siemiatycz, Poland, where we live, was going to school. Of course, not me. I was too young. I was only about 3.5 at that time. But my cousins and my sister, they went to school. They studied Hebrew a little bit, and they had holidays they celebrated, and nobody thought we would have to end up in the ghetto. One morning on November 2nd, 1942, my uncle that also lived with us in the ghetto, he came into the house and he told us that it's becoming very dangerous and that we all will have to run away. My father, Benjamin Fuchs, me, my uncle, my aunt, and their 4 children ran out of the house. In the forest, we heard gunshots, and lucky, with God's help, we were not hit. As we were sitting down, covering with leaves, my uncle looked up, and in the distance, he saw a farmhouse. He saw in the window a Polish man. My uncle recognized him as the Polish veterinarian, Mr. Luczynski, that years before my uncle did a very good deed for him. When Mr. Luczynski saw my uncle, he remembered that good deed. He spoke to his wife, Anna, and they decided, yes, they will try and help us. Mr. and Mrs. Luczynski decided that they will hide us in the potato silo, that they kept potatoes during the winter. You could not see that potato silo because it was covered with branches. The silo was so small. I was the only one that was able to stand up. The rest of the children, my aunt, uncle, and my father, had to go down on their knees. We had to lay side by side like sardines in a can. I remember my father saying to me, "You cannot cry and you cannot talk loud because it's very dangerous." And believe it or not, even as young as I was, that was a powerful message. I longed for my mother, but she was not there to hug me. My father in Yiddish kept saying, "It will get better. Believe in God, it will get better." 2 weeks later, my father died. I, at the age of 5, because it was dark, didn't know. And I thought that he was so sick and he couldn't answer me. So I held on to him and covered myself and him with the blanket, and prayed to God in Yiddish that he should get better. In that silo, we continued, by the way, to count every day of our survival and mark it on a piece of paper. That life went on with the lice and the illness for 22 months and 3 days until we were liberated by the Russian soldiers. We learned that while we were in the silo, my mother, sister, my grandfather, aunts and uncle all ended up in Treblinka. It made me a stronger individual. How could somebody like Hitler and the Germans think that Cipora Katz was the enemy of the Third Reich at the age of 4, 5, and 6? We were human beings like the rest of them. If the children witness evil, I tell them that there are many good people in the world too, and they should try and imitate the good, not the evil. They must remember to treat one another with respect and to treat others like they wanted to be treated.